Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rachak. Double honors unto the elder apostles of the great millstone and men who taught us this truth, and much love, greetings, and salutation to all the fellow laborers of the tabernacle of David, though for elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And this is our perfect timing, for the Zionist elite to go ahead and roll out their Jew world order. And of course, they got Donald Trump, all right, who's basically he's one of their puppets, that they got on a string to basically do their will, do their agenda, all right, and they understand that they can do this while the masses of the people are distracted, by this whole tragedy concerning Kobe Bryant and his daughter and the people that died on board on that helicopter crash, which, I have my personal, opinions on that whole situation, but, I'm not going to get into the specifics of that. But, this is just a perfect time, for these devils to roll out anything that they need while the world is in total distraction mode. All right. They can put out more viruses, to help, spread forth, more contagious diseases that'll lead to more, people dying, because that's also part of the New World agenda, is to reduce the Earth's population. And we see that this coronavirus is getting worse and worse. All right. But the people, they're so blinded, by society, by the, mainstream media and these, these news networks, which, that's what Esau uses to hold the wool over the people's eyes. That's why when we go to Isaiah, the 25th chapter, the 7th verse, talking about the covering cast over the people, the veil that spread over the earth. When you look up that word veil, one of the definitions, it says to weave or something, a woven. And it reminds me of the saying. It was quoted by a Freemason by the name of Walter Scott. They usually get him mistaken with William Shakespeare as having to make this quote. What tangled web we weave when first practiced to deceive. I believe that's how it go. All right. That was quoted by a Freemason by the name of Walter Scott. All right. Because these Freemasons, all right, they're very knowledgeable in witchcraft. And witchcraft is all about deceit. So if they can deceive the masses of the people, they can basically blindfold them, and then while the people don't see what the hell is going on, they can just go ahead and just blatantly do what the hell they please, man. They can pass certain legislation, executive orders that the people wouldn't have even known because they're not paying attention. That's why it tells us in 1 Thessalonians 5 and 6, it says basically to let us not sleep as do others. But be watchful, be sober and be vigilant, be watchful, man. All right, because the devil, as a roaring lion, he goeth about seeking whom he may devour. So that veil that's spread over the earth, only those who the Lord is actually putting that eye salve, opening up their eyes, that third eye, and the Lord is putting the spirit on them to see certain things. They're the only ones who are able to escape out of that, from up under that web that these higher ups are weaving over the people. And right now you have Donald Trump. He's to, according to the Jerusalem Post, he's to unveil the Israeli borders map for first time in peace plan rollout. And if any of you are familiar with their rollout, this is really mirroring the Greater Israel project that they've been working on since the Israeli regime has basically been set in place. All right. Their whole objective is to destabilize the Middle East, take out all those Palestinians, all those Ishmaelites over there, so that they can basically expand the territory of Israel into the West Bank, up into Syria, Golan Heights. And I have an article pulled up, all right, as well, which I'm gonna try to go into it and read through it. But basically, what Trump is unveiling right now, this all plays into the Jew world order of the Greater Israel Project. So now they can just proceed with what they already been objected to do, while the masses of the people don't know what the hell is going on, because they all focused on this one thing, which is all high level witchcraft, man. It's a lot of high level dark energy that Esau is summoning up right now, because the scripture tell you, Revelation 12:12, the devil come down having great wrath because he know that he have but a short time. All right. So right here it says, Trump confirmed that his Middle East peace plan will be released on Tuesday. Washington, U.S. President Donald Trump's plan for Israel and the Palestinians is a chance for peace, he said upon Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's arrival in the White House on Monday. This is an opportunity for peace, Trump said, standing next to Netanyahu, which we all know the scriptures say when you go to, let's go to that. All right, 1 Thessalonians 5. So basically, they're getting ready to implement something where they're saying that it's going to be peaceful, but meanwhile they just shifted the doomsday clock to 100 seconds to midnight. So that doesn't add up. Obviously, war is on the brink, man, and for them to trying to obtain this objective, they need total destabilization over there in the Middle East, and basically Netanyahu has to make sure that Washington keeps a certain posture over there to prevent any resisting forces of preventing them from completing this project. So that's why they're still focusing on Iran, making sure Iran is in no position to have a leverage over there in that region. All right. And that's why I'm going to go into this other article going into the Greater Israel Zionist plan for the Middle East. This is the reason why they're focusing on Iran, because Iran is one of the last major Islamic powers over there that actually rivals Israel's presence in that region. All right. So basically, Iran is basically in the way. All right. So finishing up, I'm not going to read this whole article. I'll leave this in the description box. It says, matter of fact, Salakia, let me get that in first Thessalonians real quick. 1 Thess 5. Salat. Is 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 1. It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and shall not escape. All right. So when they shall say peace and safety, when they try to make a declaration of peace, really war is coming. Hey, isn't that what the scriptures say concerning how Esau gets down? His let me get that in Psalms. All right. When they get to speaking that peaceful talk, they're really waging war, man. Because they even tell you that in Daniel, how through was that Daniel? I think it's either 7 or 8. But by peace he shall destroy many. So we know that we can't take this devil serious anytime he talks about peace. All right, because peace, that's That doesn't exist in the realm of Esau, man. He's a man of the sword, so that man, he does not understand the concept of peace. All right, he's a violent man. This is Psalms 55 and 21. It says, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words are softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." All right, so you can't. Anytime this man talks about peace, you better put your guards up, man. All right. So going back, he's talking about this is an opportunity for peace. You're freaking right, man. All right. After you then slaughtered millions of them over there in that region, talking about those Palestinians. All right. Them Israelis, they committed the biggest act of anti-Semitism in the history of mankind, man. All right. We ain't going to even talk about, their complicitness in, what happened to the children of Israel, the real Israel, the so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native Americans. All right. The whole slave trade and, all the things that happened to us. Them devils were totally responsible for it, and we consider ourselves Hebrew people, so we're Shemitic. But anything that happens against them, or even if you speak or critique them in any kind of way, that's considered anti-Semitism. All right, but what these devils been doing in the Middle East, all right, resulting in a lot of deaths, causing all these different wars, setting up all these different proxy armies to take out a lot of different civilians, killing people. These motherfuckers, man, they're war criminals, man. Okay. So when you hear these motherfuckers talk about peace, no, he's talking about the opposite. He's coming for the opposite. All right. It says, "We'll show a plan that has been worked on by everyone. We'll see if it catches hold. If it does, that'd be great. If it doesn't, it's okay." Trump is set to unveil the long-delayed plan to Netanyahu and blue and white leader Benny Gantz in separate meetings at the White House on Monday and asked them to take immediate action on implementing it. The president hopes that having support from both of the leading candidates in the March 2nd election will provide momentum for what he has called the deal of the century. Okay? So this is actually big right here, man. This people should really be looking at this. But they're not. They're going to be focused on the death of Kobe. All right? They're gonna be worried. All they're gonna be talking about is the Grammy nominations, the satanic ass Grammy performances. Who won a Grammy for this record or this album? The Nipsey Kobe Bryant tribute, which it's a reason for that, man. Both of those dudes, they were high level witches. They were Masons, man. They were highly juiced in. They were connected. They showed a lot of allegiance to those secret societies, man, of the elite. So that's the reason why these guys are getting so much honor, all right, side by side with each other, man. And both of their deaths are very eerie, man. All right, but I don't want to shift and go into a whole nother direction, but it's a reason behind that, man. This is all witchcraft. All right. Hey, lest Satan should get the advantage of us, for we're not ignorant to his devices, man. All right. So this is definitely a distraction on the masses right now. This is all witchcraft being done, a big psyop. All right, because ain't nobody gonna talk about the U.S. embassy getting attacked over there in Baghdad. All that is all tied in with this project right here, man. This is so they can keep sending troops over there, man. All right, there's tens of thousands, if not more, of troops that are centered in that region. It's all for the purpose of Israel. That's why the prophecy says that the least of the flock shall draw them out. That's why they're all being drawn over there to that side of the world, man. Because this is what they have to accomplish for them to roll out the New World Order. Okay? So let me go from there to put this in perspective so you can understand what this is really going into. All right, let's go to this right here. It's from a global research. All right. And it says, Greater Israel, the Zionist plan for the Middle East. And it says, the following document pertaining to the formation of Greater Israel constitutes the cornerstone of powerful Zionist factions within the current Netanyahu government, the Likud party, as well as within the Israeli military and intelligence establishment. All right. So this whole entire project, it constitutes the cornerstone of, the Zionist elite, which Netanyahu is, he's a part of that, man. And he's supposed to be in some type of legal trouble, but yet these things are still being accomplished for this devil, man. Through Trump. That's why I believe Trump is not going to be impeached. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all part of, the world stage, so to speak. It's all entertainment. All right, but they're going to keep amazing work for these Zionists, man. All right. So, this is what they're doing. And this, basically, in a nutshell, Esau, he's trying to forge the birthright, because we all know that the land of Israel was given to the true children of Israel. But currently, the real Israelites are not in their land because they're scattered amongst the nations as a cursed nation. Because, we broke the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. So that's why, we're scattered throughout the four corners. And the majority of us are over here in Babylon the Great. Which, when you question these Amalekites on prophecy, they act like they don't understand, or when you do get into a conversation about them, they like to give their rabbinical interpretation of what the prophecy mean. They'll try to say, "Oh, this was fulfilled on this date or that date," and none of it ever matches up. Isaiah the 2nd chapter, we always bring that out. Well, if y'all supposed to be the people and you're the fulfillment of prophecy of the true Israel going back to the land of Israel, you're the true Jews coming back to the land, then why do you have a military? Why do you have weapons of war? When pursuant to Isaiah the 2nd chapter, it said that when the Lord comes back, that nations shall not learn war anymore, and that all their weapons of war would be basically converted into tools of agriculture. Why isn't that happening now? Why is there all these wars popping up? Why are all these bomb strikes happening? Why is the Middle East in such a ruckus? All these different proxy wars are being fought on your behalf. You see? So obviously, that would show you that these are not the people of the Lord. These are all enemies that occupy the Holy Land. All right? And this is Esau. He's trying to forge the birthright because, we going back to the beginning in Genesis, the 27th chapter, the Lord, Isaac, the Lord had Isaac bless Jacob with the birthright, because it was, that belonged to him since before the foundation of the world. But just how it played out, it was meant for Jacob to get it. And Esau, he became very jealous and envious of Jacob to the point of, wanting to kill him. And that resentment and that hostility and that hatred, it never left him. That's why we've been suffering, all these millenniums of hostility and hatred and bloodshed by our brother Esau. With Amalek being, the chief, the chief of the nations. He's like the top family of Esau, Edom. All right. So that's the reason why they're in position of power right now, because the Lord blessed them with having that dominion. All right. Matter of fact, let me get let's go to the Apocrypha and let's deal with Esau real quick, and then we're gonna delve back into that article. All right. Let's go to 2nd Esdras 6th chapter. 2nd Esdras 6 and verse 7, it says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau, For Esau is the end of the world, and this is the reason why Esau is so quick to roll out his New World Order right now. Right now, he's trying to mass depopulate the population of the people, by releasing all these different viruses into the earth. That's why he's contaminating the water, the water supply. He's poisoning our food because he's trying to kill off as many people as possible. All right. This is the end of Esau's world. That's why he's coming down having great wrath, because he know that he have but a short time. Because this is his world, but he's starting. Basically, the Lord is translating his kingdom right now, and he's losing his power. So he has to fulfill all these different works right now, man. All right, but the Lord's gonna throw a monkey wrench, because all these different counsels and plans and plots that they have, everything is not gonna go according their plan, because it's about the will of the Heavenly Father, man. He's only going to go so far. The Lord's going to allow him to do what the Lord wants him to do until the Lord finally takes his ass away. All right, but it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we're getting ready to establish the kingdom of heaven, man. We're waiting on Yahweh Shai, because the kingdom of heaven is already here. It's just within the elect right now. The kingdom is the knowledge. All right, the wisdom that the men of the Lord that you see have, that's constantly, in the spirit, pushing these videos out, pushing prophecy, declaring the end of this man's kingdom. All right, declaring the coming salvation of the nation of Israel. All right, so that's the kingdom of heaven, man. And we're just waiting to be shifted into, that heavenly Jerusalem, man. Where we're going to be changed, and, the Lord's going to come back and subdue our enemies. And then we're going to take the kingdom, and the kingdom is going to be Jacob's, man. All right. And that's what, Esau is trying to prevent. All right. So he wants to take on the role of being the Israelites are living in the land of Israel. All right. Controlling the whole planet Earth, from the land of Israel being the epicenter of their dominion. You see? So going back to this right here. Let me scroll down. It says, President Donald Trump has confirmed in no uncertain terms his support of Israel's illegal settlements, including his opposition to UN Security Council Resolution 2334 pertaining to the illegality of the Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank. In recent developments, the Trump administration has expressed its recognition of Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Greater Israel will be part of the forthcoming March 2020 election campaign. So this is the reason why this is being rolled out right now. This is why he's unveiling those map plans, because this is part of their election campaign. All right. It says Netanyahu has pledged to annex large parts of the occupied West Bank. From who? From the Palestinians, which they got to basically commit ethnic, genocide or ethnic cleansing in order for them to occupy that. And then they also have to, deal with opposition coming from the proxies of the Iranian forces, as well as the Syrian forces, the Turkish forces up north. So that's the reason why America has to have a certain foothold over there, man. All right. It says, today, September before 2nd, 2019 elections, I announced my intention with the formation of the next government to establish Israeli sovereignty on the Jordan Valley and the northern Dead Sea. Despite his indictments on grounds of corruption, Netanyahu's leadership win will contribute to consolidating anti-Arab sentiment within the Likud party. Trump's deal of the century is supportive of the Greater Israel Project, which also consists in the derogation of Palestinians' right of return by naturalizing them as citizens of Lebanon, Jordan, Syria, Iraq, and elsewhere regionally where they reside. Bear in mind, the Greater Israel design is not strictly a Zionist project for the Middle East. It is an integral part of the U.S. foreign policy. Its strategic objective is extend U.S. Hegemony as well as fracture and balkanize the Middle East. So this is the reason why those nations are being stirred up against Israel and Babylon. That's why when Russia jumps in the mix, they're all going to side with Russia over the U.S. and Israel, because they're going to see that these two alliances, they're responsible for all the destabilization and war and disturbance over there, and that they're trying to basically expand their hegemon over that region. They want to gain control over everything. So they're going to have to fight. That's what the Battle of Armageddon is really going to be fought for. All right? For basically to have the next seat in power, which nobody's going to win this war. All right? Because Yahushua is going to come back and disappoint everybody. He's going to basically take the victory, man. All right? And these nations that are fighting over the Holy Land, neither one of them belong there. It doesn't belong to them. It belongs to those, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans who happen to be in captivity scattered around the world. Mainly over here in America, man. You know, still looked down upon, you know, still a byword in a proverb among the nations. Look how certain comedians and news anchors, how they're disrespecting Kobe after his alleged death. You know, they don't care about when Jake died, man. You know? So the real Israelites, you know, they're still under the curse right now, man. We're not going to go back to the land until the Messiah comes back. All right? So anyway, I'm going to read just a little more. It says, Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital is intended to trigger political instability throughout the region. According to the founding father of Zionism, Theodore Herzl, the area of the Jewish state stretches from the brook of Egypt to the Euphrates, which, you know, you go to Genesis, the 15th chapter. You know, basically the Lord told Abraham that, you know, he would make a covenant with him, that he would give him the land of Canaan, you know, from the Nile all the way to the Euphrates. All that land would be his. All right, which is the Fertile Crescent. You know, that's the most fertile land over there. But right now it's cursed because the bastard, you know, the scriptures say a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. Basically, the heathen are over there. That's why the land is cursed. And they have what you call the kibbutz, where they got to basically import, you know, all their stuff over there, man. Trees, crops, vegetation, you know. Because, you know, nothing can grow there right now because, you know, you got Cain over there, you know. The curse of Cain is actually in the land right now because you got the Canaanites over there, which is basically Esau, Edom. All right. So they figure as though, you know, that land belonged to them because the birthright was supposed to go to Esau. And them devils, they know that they're Edomites, man. The higher ups, they know. But, you know, they basically they hijacked, you know, our identity to get back at us. And they want to exterminate us, man. That's why, you know, they're also lately, you know, for the past month or two, you know, they've been going on a smear campaign through these Zionist-controlled media outlets to demonize the real Hebrew Israelites. You know, setting up these false flag attacks on so-called Jewish delis and, you know, these so-called random Jewish attacks in these neighborhoods. You know, there's a reason behind all that, man. Because they're trying to get rid of us and they're trying to accuse us to the Father so that they think that the Lord would basically cast us off from being his people, and that the Lord will basically replace us with them. You know, they think that the Lord is actually dealing with them. But the Lord got their ass in a trick bag, man. Because neither one of you belong over there in the land of Israel. Okay? But as you can see, you know, this is the view of the map of, you know, what they're aiming at. All right? They want all that land, even the land that the Lord didn't really, you know, give, you know, as an inheritance to Israel. They want all that extra land. you know. So that's why it's so much bloodshed going on over there. Okay, so let's go from there and let's go to Ezekiel. All right, let's go to Ezekiel 36. As you can see, this is prophecy, you know, playing out, man, being fulfilled. This is Ezekiel 36:1. It says, "Also, thou son of man, prophesy the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy have said against you, Aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Therefore prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. And you are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people." Yeah, the people of the land, which are the you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which happen to be scattered. You are an infamy of the people. Everybody has derogatory terms about you. There's all type of typical stereotypes that they maintain about you. So you are an infamy of the people. You don't. That's why it's so. In the eyes of the people, it seems so far fetched that we happen to be the children of Israel. That's why when you read Lamentations, the second chapter, it talks about how they look down upon us. They say, "Is this the perfection of beauty?" This is supposed to be the city of God. They look down upon us, man. Like these are some niggas, man. They damn sure can't be the people of the Lord, man. Look, they all locked up. The majority of them, they play into the prison industrial complex. They strung out on drugs. They're in the ghetto, in the slums. They're in the barrio. They're on the reservations. They're very dysfunctional. Their women are easy to manipulate and take from their men. So yeah, we are an infamy of the people, right? But it says what? It says, "Therefore, you mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord." So the Lord's prophesying towards the land of Israel, and who occupies that land? Amalek, and then they're fighting with who? Those Palestinians, which a lot of them, some of them are Ishmaelites, and some of them are a mixture between Ishmael and Esau. A lot of them Arabs are also Edomites as well. So this is Edomites fighting other Edomites, for that inheritance that don't belong to neither one of them. Right? It says, "Thus saith the Lord power, to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys and to the desolate waste, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and a derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea," which is the Greek way of saying Edom, "which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey." You see? And they appointed their land, and they're not only that land, but they're trying to expand that land. They're trying to add to that, man. That's why it tells you in Habakkuk the second chapter, they shall take up this taunting proverb, "Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his." The scriptures also say not to remove landmarks. But this devil, he like it tells you in Psalms 50 and 16, "What hast thou to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take as my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction, and cast of my words behind thee?" That's how you know that these people are the devil that the Bible speaks of. They're definitely the synagogue of Satan, man. You give them the land of uprightness, yet they will not learn righteousness. Okay? Let favor be shown unto the wicked in the land of uprightness, they still will not learn righteousness, man. So this is their whole agenda. This is their whole goal, their objective. All right. But according to prophecy, they're going to get wiped out of there during the battle of Armageddon, man. The Ezekiel 38 war. That's going to be the same war that's going to lead to the destruction of the land of Israel, with all those gutter rats being wiped out of there. All right. It's verse 6. It says, "Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because you have borne the shame of the heathen." Yeah, kosher pig. All right, nude beaches, the biggest gay parade on the planet Earth, Tel Aviv, Pink City. All right, They do all type of wickedness and rituals over there, man. Okay. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. But ye, O mountains of Israel, you shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come. So that means what? The Israelites are not there yet. All right. So a lot of major things got to occur. And then, of course, the land of Israel is going to get destroyed before the actual people of Israel come back. And that's going to be on the day of the Lord. The Lord has not came back yet. So who the hell are these people are masquerading themselves as the people of the Lord, man? The Jews. And what happened to the rest of the tribes? Why is it only just Judah, Benjamin, and Levi? All 12 tribes are supposed to arrive on the day of the Lord. You see? So that's what's going down right now, man. But as these devils think that they're gonna fulfill that, let's go to Psalms 33 and 10. And it says, the Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect. The counsel of the Lord standeth forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. All right. So, hey, the Lord's going to cause something to happen where, these devils are not going to be able to accomplish or fulfill, their heart's desire, man. Job 5 and 12. It says he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And he's going to halt this project by causing them to go to war, man. All right. And it's going to result in them all being destroyed on both sides, man. It says the least of the flock shall draw them out, and they shall make them desolate with them. So America is going to become a desolate wilderness, and then Israel is going to get destroyed, but Israel is actually going to be rebuilt. Okay, because we're going to come back in those ships down back to the Holy Land, and we're going to have all the slaves rounded up, and we're going to have them rebuild the ruins of Israel. Okay. It says he take up the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. So that's why they're going to keep having all these different councils, like secret meetings and stuff like that. And things are just not going to go the way they plan it, because this is not of man's will. This is all of the Most High's will. All right. So hey, the Lord's going to stir up these other nations, man, and their goal is going to be it's gonna be offset, It's gonna upset their agenda, man. All right, but anyway, I'm gonna leave it with that, and I'll try to leave these links in the description box. Hopefully, this was edifying. I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Shalom.